Hello. Testing already. That's a good thing.
Yeah, usually.
Means everything worked the first time. Holy sheep shit.
Nice.
All right. Let's get this thing on the road.
We
shall
live. You just enjoy hearing yourself.
Well, kind of, but no. All right. This is kind of funny, that's all.
What am I going to do with
Eat
you?
cake.
Mm-mm.
Woo. There we are.
There we are.
There we are.
Mhm.
There I am. Oh, geez. Almost like it. So anyway, the delay is hilarious, just so you know.
Yeah.
So
He finds weird shit funny.
I think it's really, really funny. So welcome everybody, one and all. Sorry, this little trying to get in the mood of the swing of things. Got give me
Trying
a
to wake up.
yeah. I'm Sammy,
I'm Kimmy.
and this is Hump Day,
Hump Day.
Sammitized podcast.
Yes.
So we just wanted to give you a
Number something.
number something, something, whatever.
We haven't numbered them.
It's in the 80s is all I know.
There you go.
When I get closer to 100, then I'll start.
We'll start counting
I'll
them.
start counting them.
Maybe.
Yes, maybe.
If you're lucky.
If I'm lucky, if you're lucky, I
If
don't
they're
know.
lucky.
If they're lucky,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I should put numbers on these because that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, something else that I have to figure out.
Like a to be continued.
To be continued. So anyway, do a little adjustment here
Mm-hmm.
where I'm all the way in.
Yeah.
Yep. And so everybody, this is the Hump Day podcast, and Wednesdays. You know what Wednesday means?
Halfway through the work week.
That means you can get your drink, get your snacks for an hour.
Beverage of choice.
Yep. Take your pants off and chill out.
Yeah.
Yep. So because it's no pants Wednesday.
And if you're sitting there naked, I don't want to know.
Yeah. If you're naked, don't tell me about it. I don't
He'll
want
be
to say
jealous.
no schlonging. no commando. What is that? What's
Nobody's going commando.
called? Commando.
No.
Commando. Mando. So, we'll see if, that's the first time I'm going to hear from James, I'm sure, when he gets on.
Yeah, he'll be on any minute.
And I'm sure
Give
he'll
him
be
time.
on. What's the common term? Suck it, fucker. Hi, Kimmy.
Yep. Pretty much.
So, anyway. So, this is going to be the, I'm going to call it kind of the full moon weirdo
Oh,
episode. Yes, because we got all sorts of things to talk about.
yeah.
Okay. So, first of all, there is a pink moon Thursday morning, which means tomorrow. This morning or next morning.
Like in a few hours.
in a few hours. 12:34 a.m. is supposed to be a pink moon, whatever the frick that means.
Sounds like a good Aerosmith song.
Yep. But it also explains why all this weird shit that's been going on for the last week has been going on for the last week.
Yeah, maybe.
Getting close
Or
to
could
that
just be
moonage.
gases in the atmosphere creating
Yeah.
an optical illusion.
Yeah, I've been smelling some gases around the office, but I think that's just Jordan. Or Dave wanted to.
Mm.
Wasn't me this time. But I was like, it's a little ripe here and there.
Fragrant.
A little fragrant once in a while.
Whoopsie. Well, that
The
special
SPDs
flower
are flowing.
is blooming, the one that smells like raw meat.
Ugh,
Yeah.
kind of
Up
fucking
in
flower
Tampa.
is that?
I don't know. I saw it on the news. It's some flower that's blooming up in, I think it's Clearwater, Tampa. I don't know, north of us. That's all I know. And apparently Selby Gardens here in Sarasota has one as well, and they only bloom every 10 years. So for the flower that's north of us, it's its 10th year. So it's blooming, and yeah, the smell is
It's
atrocious.
the time of the month.
Yeah, literally. I mean, I'm sure it does something, but
Ooh.
yeah.
So anyway, the pink moon is tonight,
Mhm.
12:34 a.m.
I won't be up for it.
So I won't be up. I'm sure the Badger will be.
And I'm
Badger
sure
will
she'll take pictures for us.
I'm sure she'll take pictures. That's right.
Thank you, Kendall.
Yes. So with that being said,
Mhm.
but you know what happens with a full moon? Weirdos.
Rely on social media to take your pictures?
Yeah. No. So speaking of weirdos, did you know that, it's kind of funny?
Mm-hmm.
I was looking up something else, and there was a thing about Dr. Seuss.
Okay.
Did you know that Dr. Seuss invented the word nerd?
Really?
Yes.
Hmm.
In his what I forgot the name of the book, but it was from the 50s. One of his first books. The guy goes after a nerd and a nerdle.
Mm.
And so that's where the first time the word nerd came out in publication.
Interesting.
Yes. So the word nerd he invented. So
Nice.
with that being said,
or at least made it public.
yes. So it was just kind of a weird nerd.
It's interesting.
Yeah. What's also interesting is, which I think is kind of funny, is the word is ferrets.
Ferrets?
Yes, because
like the little critters?
Yeah. So after I found out about the word nerd, then of course, the curiosity my mind as ADD starts just veering far right, because I was looking this way and it went that way.
Sure.
Okay. So, which far right on your screen is left. So I guess it's far left on this one.
Yeah, whatever.
But anyway,
you're right.
It's my right. My right, your left. So, but a group of ferrets is called what? A business.
Ah.
Tell me that ain't some weird shit.
That is some weird shit.
A business.
A business.
So next time you say, "Hey,"
so when someone calls and says, "I thought you were running a business here," I can go, "No, there's no ferrets in the building.
No ferrets here." Anyway.
Well,
what you gotta do?
people call and ask the darndest things.
They do ask the darndest things.
Yeah. And then they expect answers.
Well,
which is even worse.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's the fault of the pink moon.
Yeah. Yeah. So, speaking of the pink moon.
Is it a full moon or just a pink partial
moon? It's a full
moon?
Pink moon.
Ah, double whammy.
A double whammy. So, it's a big, round, orange, pink object. Or if you're color blind, it might be orange.
Some shade.
But it's not white or whatever that dingy color is that it normally is.
Glow in the dark.
It's like, which I call, dirty.
Dirty.
It's just white and dirty.
So now it's pink and dirty?
Now it's just pink and dirty.
That sounds like
I'm
a song
rolling
too.
pink and dirty. I'm rolling.
Just saying.
Yeah. So I'd say the music's so loud, but there's no sound by the moon.
No.
So that wouldn't work out very well. No.
Mm-mm.
So anyway, back to the stories and so yeah, this is taking off real well.
Well,
yeah.
Sometimes we start slow, especially when we're tired.
Yes.
And we're still trying to get over a very rough weekend. So.
Yes, very rough weekend. So anyway, one of the things I wanted to talk about, we didn't get to talk about on Saturday, was the crackheads of Gainesville.
Oh.
We have talked in the past where, I got to show Jordan his first real wigged out crackhead, meth head, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
But what was really crazy was we were coming into town, and for some reason or another, I don't know if there was something else going on, but it was kind of scary because they were in abundance.
Oh,
the
crackheads were?
The crackheads were in abundance, like majorly.
Maybe they
abundance.
bust them down here. Maybe they're like the illegal people.
No, they're not. They're not imported crackheads. You can definitely tell they've been there a while.
Domesticated.
Yeah, they're domesticated crackheads. But it was like, because we were going around one corner, and there was 3 or 4 of them, and they're doing their little itchy, scratchy, whatever thing. Jitterbug thing. And then we get down to the next light. We look over, and this one, Brother James is in the house.
There you go.
I knew it wouldn't take too long.
Yes.
We say crackhead, and he gets interested. So
Something like that.
something like that. So anyway, so
Not even in Braden, Tucky.
yeah,
This
not
was
even
Gainesville.
this is Gainesville. You know that it's bad.
Is that an elevated, like maybe an educated crackhead?
Yeah. Yeah. You know that it's bad when people from Bradenton wish they were in Bradenton because of the crackhead population.
Oh.
It was that bad.
In Gainesville?
Yeah. It was like we stopped at a light.
Yikes.
And there was like 30 people just scattered amongst this whole like parking lot.
Oh.
It was like a parking lot where something was torn down and they were just hanging out there.
They decided to move in.
Yeah,
the rubble.
they moved in, and boy did they. And they were all just hanging out, twitching, itching, and scratching, and doing
and wishing for more.
And wishing for more. And then one guy's over in the corner, and he could tell he's the only one with the drugs because he's over in the corner, or the only one that hadn't gotten his drugs or just gotten his drugs because he's over in the corner and he's like kind of hiding. You could tell he was lighting his pipe.
Oh God.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit. It was like I'm like, oh, let's get out of here while we can.
Bradenton has some shady areas like that too. I just want you to know.
Yeah.
Because I ended up at Home Depot about 8 a.m. on a Saturday. And the parking lot next to Home Depot is where everybody lives in their cars.
No. Oh, over there?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. I could see that. Yeah, it used to be a fluid, progressive parking lot. Now, since all it is a storage unit.
I mean, I feel bad for them. I'm not making fun. I'm just it's a really bad situation.
It's pretty crazy.
I mean, they didn't bother anybody. They just
James is like, new place to go for bum fights.
Probably.
Here's 20 and 20.
I just find it interesting because, like, you got Home Depot, you got Carrabba's, there's some kind of self-storage place,
I'll tell you.
Interesting.
I'll tell you what's crazy about the whole...
Oh, and the mini golf.
Yeah, the mini golf. What's crazy is that maybe
that's where they bathe?
I don't know. But
the alligators?
But we hadn't had, like, a really bad, like, situation with like druggy homeless around here in a while.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because I jinxed myself today. Because we were talking about Gainesville and how bad it was.
Right.
And Jordan's like, yeah, it's not that bad. It's not as bad. It was good to come back to Bradenton, and
right.
And then I'm like, yeah, and I agreed with him, and it was like I jinxed myself because Kimmy and I are outside right before the show, and a guy needed a fucking fix so bad, he gave away his bicycle. Him and his girlfriend rolled up on a bike, and and one was walking on the way back because they had to get their freaking.
Pretty sure that was I need my fix, here's my bike.
Oh, yeah.
Or here's somebody's bike.
Yeah, because he didn't seem like he was very happy that he had to give up his bicycle.
Yeah, he's probably like, I stole this fair and square.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
Maybe.
Yeah, I just can't believe they're using that. They literally. I
mean, that's
just ridiculous. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You all being shipped. Yeah, yeah. James is gonna
Kentucky Villa.
Well, James, you could put it on the other pod in my backyard, and you could have yourself a duplex.
Right. Yeah.
You'll be your own little 2-story building in the backyard. You could have it's like an ogre. You could have layers. That's one thing I'm terrified of.
What?
Well, for the viewers at home that don't know where we live and stuff like that, we have a pod that we bought from U-Haul because it was the wrong size.
Yeah.
And so at the time, they were buying one of those companies that goes and drops off a pod to your house, and you load it up, then they pick it up and they drive it away. Mm-hmm. And then if you need the stuff later, or they ship it to wherever you're going.
Right.
And so that's Kendall's place to get outside of the yard. So we got this not. I guess it's too small or whatever. So when you stack them, they don't. It doesn't
They don't
stack.
stack right. Yeah.
Yeah. So the guy that worked at U-Haul gave me this deal. He's like, man, if you want one of these, just
Come
come
and
to
get it.
yeah, come and get it. Pay your $50-something, and they'll drop it off at your house.
Yeah, which is a steal for a shed.
Yeah. Well, back then it was
Yeah.
a lot. Things were a lot cheaper. I
Yes,
mean,
true.
the material it's made out of was right now would probably be worth $50 by itself.
Minimum, yeah. Unassembled.
Unassembled. So long and short is, so we got this pod, and we filled it up, and then after we filled it up, we closed it, we locked it, triple locked it, and it's been there ever since.
Yep.
Now, where the
There's
concern
no
is,
telling what else is in there.
yeah. So the concern for me is that we've gone through a few animals that lived in the backyard that have dug underneath it, made a house out of it underneath it, and everything else. And I just terrified to open that thing up one day and see what really is left in there.
My goal is to empty out.
Yeah.
Our,
James's dead hooker is in there.
Yeah,
That's what he's telling me now.
No, we'd have smelled it by now.
Yeah, there's no
But
dead hookers.
We'll filter out all of the crap. that
Comedy only, guys.
we've
Comedy only.
Stored.
Yeah.
And make room for what's in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's mostly inanimate objects that can't be eaten through.
Yeah. Well, obviously, it's nothing we need.
No.
So, because
Definitely not.
we haven't opened it in so
Yeah.
long.
It's going to be one of those things where it's going to be like Christmas because we're going to be
Yeah,
like,
we're
holy
gonna
shit,
look
we
at all
have
the stuff we
this,
got.
right? Yeah, exactly.
Woo-hoo.
Nice.
I have no clue what's in there. I have
some ideas.
I have some ideas, but
yeah.
nothing. I know that there's nothing of super value in the damn thing. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep.
But yeah, so it's yeah, it is what it is.
Yep.
But yeah, so so we having these crackheads coming down our street that are needing a fix so bad that they just give up a bicycle. That's like saying, "Here's my car.
Right.
Have a nice day."
Right. I need the drugs more.
Yeah, I've had and we've had when we had the coffee shop, there was a girl that used to come up there. We used to call her Ali because she had
yes, that's true. The boat will be used before anything in that shed will be
Yeah,
used.
exactly.
Very true.
So so she used to fight people. She was kind of she wasn't a lesbian, but she was definitely a tomboy.
Yeah.
She was the last of the breed of the tomboys.
Yeah.
And there's been quite a few times that it looked like a boxing ring outside my shop from people that didn't want to leave or had a problem with the coffee shop, and she took care of it. It's pretty bad when most of my wasn't needing. Poor James. You know, the coffee shop brought so much bad stuff to our lives, including James's ex-wife.
Well,
we thought it was a good idea at the time. Okay.
Hey, so did he. He married her.
Yeah, and he thought so too. So, but yeah, but I'm just happy he has who he has now.
Can't take full credit, in other words.
Yeah. Well, just think about it. Life is a journey. If he wouldn't have been with that one,
then
he wouldn't have the one he has now.
Exactly.
And the one he has now is absolutely awesome in my book. She takes care of him very, very well.
Yes.
So that's the way I look at things.
Yes.
But yeah. But anyway, so now James wants to put a second one on top so we can have a yeah.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah.
We are still friends.
Yes. So James didn't blame me for it.
No.
I can't tell somebody's fucking batshit crazy. It's not my fault. So anyway.
Well, you got to have some level of crazy.
Exactly.
That's just how it works.
Yep, exactly. So anyways, thinking of something, doing something crazy. Hopefully I have enough time in the next 2 days to get the truck together. So I was thinking it might be time. Wow, did you see that?
It popped up and then it disappeared.
Facebook doesn't like when I say that their people are batshit crazy. Yeah, right. Yeah. Should have known that she buys coffee from me. Yeah, yeah. We're talking to the guy that I have pictures of him, literally, with his head tilted back, his mouth open, pumping caramel into his mouth. So yeah. But anyway,
Well,
everybody's
you only live once.
You only live once. So speaking of diabetes, we've got. If anybody feels the need to join us, it's a drive, but they can if they want. Sebring, in Sebring, there is a soda festival
This coming weekend.
And we will be there on what, the 8th, right?
Saturday, yes.
Yep. So the 8th in downtown Sebring,
Yes.
is the Sebring Soda Festival. Ooh, we're gonna be.
I think I'm gonna pre-buy some sample passes.
I think I'm gonna pre-buy some sample insulin.
They don't have that.
No.
But
I'll bring
I
it next.
microdose my insulin, and that seems to work for me. I mean,
That's
I take
not
a regular
insulin.
dose
Those are
of the
mushrooms.
I take a regular dose of the long term, and then I microdose my short term, and that works out.
Yeah, and then James is deciding that he's going to New York City for the
That's
weekend,
cool.
so we will not have a James on the podcast.
Well,
He'll be traveling amongst the rest of us.
on the road again.
On the road again. Just can't wait to go to New York City again,
I've never been.
where all the lefties are lefter than everywhere else, and they all run down here when they realize it.
There you go.
There you go. So I can't sing, but anyway. So
We'll work on those lyrics.
We'll work on the lyrics later. I made it up as I went along. Could you tell? No.
No.
So anyway, so the Sebring Festival will be on the 8th. We'll be there all day. Oh, James is going to a Trump rally.
Nice. Don't get shot. I saw some of
Isn't
those.
he down here though?
That video. Yeah, he flies back and forth.
Oh, okay. So
You know, when you have your own 747, you can do that kind of shit.
yeah, I guess so. I watched a video on that thing. That is crazy.
On the plane?
Yeah.
Yep, I know.
Yeah, that thing is nuts. That thing is.
And he brings a new perspective to meticulous. Like,
Oh,
I thought
yeah.
I was pretty meticulous about certain things.
This man takes apart.
Right.
Before he gets on the plane, they take these brushes and brush the suede, so it's all in one direction.
In one direction, yeah. Like no carpet marks or sweep
and perfect
marks.
little stripes and everything else before he gets on the plane.
Yep.
And
that is meticulous.
And
and there's Crema.
Yeah, and what's also crazy is as she's fucking
like
up our focus,
stretching and strutting.
Yeah. So then to add, she just reminds.
She knows it too.
She reminds me of like the kid that just woke up. It's like got up,
right,
stretching a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
All right, I'm up. Yeah. So anyway,
Yep.
so yeah, looking at that plane, they got a freaking. They got to paint. There's a guy, and his job is to have he has every color in this little paint kit with little brushes, and he goes around
and touches it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, with like a toothpick
but,
or finer things.
But
even.
it's so crazy that they like. There's one spot where like there was a nut that was half white, that they painted half white and half black. So.
Oh, the stripe was perfect.
So the stripe, so it wouldn't screw up the stripe that was going down the side of the thing. That's nuts.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It cost, what did they say? It was like $350,000 to paint that stupid thing.
I bet.
That's crazy.
Yep.
But anyway, so yeah, elaboration is definitely crazy there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. James's
Exactly.
spell check is going on crazy.
Very true.
He told me if he eats shit crazy, if he eats shit crazy and he's rich,
that shit crazy rich. All good. I knew what he meant.
Yeah, that in the world is what we call FU money, because you can just basically tell anybody to go F you. and call it a day.
They said his points rose after the indictment.
When he got indicted, he ended up with like he raised $7 million for his friggin' thing.
So for all the people that hate him and don't want him back in office, by you cheering for all of what's going on, you're pretty much solidifying that he's going to at least attempt to run again. Just throwing
he's running,
it out there.
But if
not trying to be political in any stretch of the form, but just
saying.
Look what you're doing.
Yep. Well, it's kind of like in the old days with like the Howard Sterns and the rappers. You know, the more bad press they got, the more, you know, they were
right. Like bad press is still press; it's attention.
Yep, it just gives them more attention to get more people to watch, listen, or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yep, I definitely agree.
So, I mean, it's. Yeah.
So, with that being said, so other than that, so I never got to the story.
Yeah.
So we were
crazy people.
So we went to go to we were in Gainesville, and it seemed like there was an overpopulace of crazy crackheads for some reason. I don't know, something was supposed to be going on. There was a freebie event, something.
Maybe.
Who knows what the hell it was.
Yeah.
So anyway, we go to our favorite Mexican little restaurant, one where we eat outside, the burrito place.
Yeah.
Maracas or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
And so we order food, and I didn't order the burrito, which normally is like done, like we get like within like a couple minutes.
Yeah.
We ordered like this meal is like the special.
Okay.
And so they had to cook it.
Mm.
Well, we're sitting there, me and Jordan are sitting there waiting, drinking a beer, chilling out, just watching the time go by.
Mm-hmm.
And where we were sitting, there was like trees and bushes like on this side,
mm-hmm.
and then it went around then it went around the back. You know, so the whole back area to kind of enclose the food area
mm-hmm.
had these like bushes and these weird like really skinny trees that kind of blocked everything from going on.
So not happy little trees?
Yeah, not happy trees. Well, they were probably happy trees. This weird
small,
fuzzy
happy trees.
Weird fuzzy trees.
Okay.
So long and short of it is that so these trees kind of block the view of things.
Mm-hmm.
So we're sitting here drinking a beer, and I almost spit on Jordan when I hear from across the road, I'm gonna pay you to use your phone.
Oh God.
And I'm like, what the hell is that? And it is the most redneck toothless woman I've ever seen in my life.
Oh good.
Comes walking across. Give me your phone. I say you got a phone. I'll give you money to use it right now. This crazy bitch is trying to hit me with her car.
Oh shit.
So she's literally.
So you got dinner and a show.
Oh yeah. So what was funny about the situation is there's no parking.
Okay.
Like the parking is always full.
Yeah.
And you have to really look for parking to get one.
Right.
And at the time that this lady is yelling, there's nobody there. Like all the cars are parked.
Oh.
Like there's nobody. There's no cars.
So someone had attempted to hit her within the last like 10 minutes for her to be yelling this.
She's yelling like as if it happened just that second ago.
Right.
Which we're not sure if she just
made it up or what.
Thought that there was something going on. Yeah.
Mm.
So she starts screaming and hollering, give me that phone. Come on, you can let me use it. And I'll do it. It'll only take me a minute to call the cops. And she keeps yelling this across the way. Mm-hmm. Now there's a little dog. It all was like this clusterfuck of like weird shit happening all at the same time.
Sounds like it.
So the lady that has the phone has a little dog. Little dog's going ape shit.
Yeah, because somebody's screaming at its owner.
So it's trying to attack anything and everything.
Okay.
Like people are walking by as this lady's yelling. It freaks the dog out. Then the dog tries to bite the guy that's walking by. It's like,
wow.
it's like, it's like the guy's like, holy shit, and he starts running that way. It was like, the only way to describe it is like if you
little dog, great big man, and he's afraid to death of it.
Oh yeah, well, what made it hilarious was the fact that it looked like a scene, like something you would like start, like on a Sims or like Grand Theft Auto by causing one instance,
right, and having it snowball into
something else because this lady's yelling. So obviously she thinks somebody tried to hit her.
Right.
She's running across the road, screaming at this other lady now. This other lady's dog, the lady's not letting her, trying to ignore her, as her dog is going ape shit at
anything that's walking by.
So this guy's walking by right at the right time, and just barely misses this guy's leg by like a centimeter. It's like stab, and the guy's like, "Holy frick, what the fuck, man?" It's like he's just like walking by, like, ah! So
nice.
So he starts running, and he's like, ah! And then some black dude who looks like a basketball player, dressed like a basketball player,
yeah,
big old afro sitting there, and he goes, "Oh, is it time to dance?" This is all happening like repetition at the same time. Oh, is it time to dance? And he's on something bad. I mean, he's like really on,
or good, depending upon
really good.
How you dice it.
So he turns his phone on high, and he starts dancing to some music, and he's doing this. I don't know if he was. It was like kind of like
combination of the Vogue and YMCA tied together.
It was like mix voguing,
yeah,
YMCA, and crip walking all at the same time.
Shit.
And he's like got his legs going, and he's doing this thing, and he really thinks he's dancing really well.
Yeah.
And he's got this big old goofy grin on his face.
Wait, with somebody on the phone?
No, he's playing music on the phone.
He's playing music on his phone.
And he like turns the phone on. Like all I see, I look up to see what's going on with the guy running.
I can just see Sam peeking through the edge.
Just like I see this edge, and so I go to stand on the table. I don't want them to see me,
right?
So I'm like, I'm just gonna peek over the edge, right?
Yeah.
So I stand on the chair, and I see the guy running, going, "Oh fuck, motherfucker, motherfucker!"
Yeah.
And then I see, "Oh, you want to dance?" And the guy turns this music on his phone, turns all the way up, throws his phone on the ground. And then he starts doing this weird shit, and he's crossing his legs and dancing and spinning around, and I'm like, what the fuck are all these guys on? But they're on the same.
They eat here.
They obviously, did they eat here?
Because now I'm eating it too.
It's like obviously there's something. Yeah, it's like, am I going to be out here dancing in the middle of the fucking grass?
I'm dancing with this guy and running from an invisible dog.
Yeah, exactly. And then. And so he starts dancing, and then he just stops. He's dancing, and all of a sudden he just says, "Who?" And he drops it just like it never happened.
Oh, shit.
And he just stops, and he looks around.
Like musical chairs?
Well, the music's still playing.
Uh-huh.
And he's looking around, and he's like, "Oh, there's my phone." Grabs it, turns the music off. I was wondering where that was at. And starts to walk down to the other end of the street. And I'm like, Jordan.
Split personality?
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
So then here comes the cops flying up.
Oh, God.
So two cops fly up, where
Miss
this lady
I thought
is.
I got hit by a car is still standing there, right?
So obviously she's screaming she got hit by a car. I don't think the lady ever gave her the phone. I think other people called and said, oh, right. Somebody got hit by a car. And she's frantic. There's obviously something wrong with her.
Right, yeah.
And then there's like this dude. There's this dude, and he's just like, and it's so funny because the cops are coming up, and the dude's like this, and he's all like pimply, like you can tell he's had a rough life. He's got all these little red dots all over his face,
right?
And he's sores where he's been itching all day,
right.
And he's just sitting there next to the lady doing this. Goes, the cops are here. cops are here. And he goes, the cops are here. The cops are here. Do you believe the cops are here? Oh, my God. What are we going to do now? Cops are here. Cops are here. And he just kept doing it over and over again. And Jordan's like, what the fuck is wrong with that guy? I go, I don't know. And he's like, the cops are here. And I'm like, and I'm sitting there.
He was looking for that lady to react, and she wasn't reacting, obviously.
So what was funny is, in the midst of this, the lady's delivering our food and like wanting to know why I'm on the fucking table,
right?
Looking
staring
over,
through the hedge,
like a peeping tom, like, ooh, this is cool.
Right?
I'm like, I'm trying to get my phone. I'm like, damn video. I need content. I need content.
Yeah.
It's like, because I'm watching it and it's like a train wreck. I'm so mesmerized by it.
You can't stop.
I can't stop. And all I hear in the background is Jordan going, content, get the phone, content.
Right.
He's over here trying to help me.
See? Smart guy.
And then I'm like, oh, the phone, shit. And then I jump down to get my phone and I go to change it and I get back. And
everything's done.
And then the cops are here. Well, Mr. Cops are here is Mr. Gone because he is gone.
Right?
He fucking poof disappeared.
It took his brain a minute to catch up and go, "Oh crap, the cops are here.
Maybe I shouldn't be here.
Maybe I shouldn't."
So he takes off. So then then all of a sudden now this is what gets the best part. Because nobody was moving where the cops were, where the people were at,
right?
The cops run right by them.
Oh, jeez.
And all of a sudden they start running into the middle of that field where they do the yoga. And as they're doing it, they almost trip over another homeless guy sleeping. There's like a little ledge, and he's like, "Here's the ledge," and there's like a guy is like,
he's like below it.
The guy's laying here, and his other buddy's like sitting over here.
Oh God!
And they almost literally stepped on the homeless guy, and then so the guy jumps. He's like, "Oh shit!" The cop goes, "Oh shit!" And he jumps over the guy and turns around. What are you doing there? And they just like totally ADD squirreled it. Turns around. What are you doing? You can't lay here.
Right.
I almost stepped on you. You know, I could have hurt you really bad. You know, starts going there.
Right.
And the guys are like,
them the riot
yeah.
act.
And then these two poor guys, out of everybody in the world,
geez.
that I didn't even know they were there. They were that quiet.
Right.
Now they're the ones having to
getting
reprimanded
ejected by the cops.
By the cops.
Oh.
And Miss Crazy Bitch is sitting there going, she's like this, and she's just sitting there, you know, like she's mumbling something. I can't hear what she's saying, but
Right.
And I'm like, this lady's really fucked up.
Yeah, she's forgotten her story.
She was like totally like the cops were there, and now she didn't know what to do with the cops because the cops were there.
I called them. I can't remember why.
Well, I don't know what these people were on. I don't know if it's like shrooms or like some acid or something.
They said that they're putting a new thing in with the shitty drugs and the fentanyl. There's some new thing that they're adding.
Oh, really? Maybe that's what it was. Because I'm telling you, these people, I've never seen people act this way. And I've seen, we ran a coffee shop next to a methadone clinic where there was more drugs in front of the methadone clinic than in it. They're calling it like the
zombie drug or something.
Yeah, well, these people were just like the guy dancing. And then he just stopped dancing and just like
Trank. That's what it's called.
Was it
Trank?
Trank.
TRANQ. Yeah.
TRANQ. I'll have to look that one up because I don't know what it was, but he was dancing.
It was on
then
the
he
news.
Stopped dancing.
Yep.
Then he acted like nothing happened.
Yep.
Then he walked away. Then he started doing a little jigaboo booty thing there at the end.
And then he cut it off.
Yeah. And then he left, and of course, then out of the blue, then towards the end, like the cops are leaving. And they get in the car and they go drive away. And then the chicken man shows up.
Oh, Mr. Bark.
Yeah. Bark, 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 bark. He's over there in the corner. He's like, he's doing his little dance. And I'm waiting for him. I'm like, Jordan, Jordan got to see the chicken man.
Nice.
So that's all that mattered because he got to actually see chicken man. And because
didn't that guy usually show up in the morning?
He shows up at 6 a.m. But towards the end of the night, he sleeps. There's like a, what do they call that? A
cul-de-sac?
A pod
alley.
Or like a little square place like our shop used to be.
Yeah.
And it was like a little 8x8 box, like an information center where you can buy like bus tickets and like tickets to whatever their events are in the Bo Diddley little thing
square.
there. Yeah. And so he would sleep behind it.
Oh.
And so he obviously was coming in for the
evening.
night rush,
Right.
yeah. And so because things were starting to settle down, because we were there pretty late,
Right.
because it got pretty interesting. The longer we sat there,
Sounds like
the more shit was going on. I'm like, I don't want to leave now. It's like, but after a couple beers and a full belly, I was like, we were exhausted that day, and
Yeah.
we're like,
Okay,
we
let's
just gotta
call
go.
it a night.
It's like,
yeah.
I need to go get some sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was so funny too, because Jordan's like, he got the second beer down, and he's like, hold on a second. He goes up to the front, grabs one more. He goes, just in case I need it. It's like,
Yeah.
poor guy. Yeah, he was having a rough day. We busted our asses that day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know what's going on in Gainesville, but they got some good shit there. That's all I'm going to say.
Well,
and they're trying to
go
peddle it.
experiment.
No, I ain't got nothing there for me. After seeing a guy do some kind of Piggly Wiggly dance and then go off to the other, no way. Did you see what Trank is?
Yeah, it's the zombie drug.
Well, tell us about it.
I mean, it's all like from other people's shit. I mean, what's her face was in Sarasota this morning talking about it. Ashley Moody.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was in Sarasota this morning talking about it because I guess they've been it's basically an animal drug.
Tranquilizer type thing.
Yeah. And it's being integrated in like powder form and stuff
geez.
like that. Yeah. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's really dangerous. The xylazine is the chemical name.
Wow, that's crazy. Like I said, it was if these people,
and it's killing people. They're saying that if you're exposed to this drug, like
right.
say your fix is something else, and they
right.
put that in whatever you're getting your fix on,
right.
and you, for instance, are a diabetic and you take a shot, that little hole could get infected from the xylazine and eat the bone underneath.
Holy shit!
Like it's real bad. It's
Damn.
like nasty.
Well, you never
like
know,
a little
because
scratch
these guys
can turn into like
maybe that's why they're itching so bad. Because
it's real funky.
Well, I've seen people doing like crazy stuff,
mm-hmm.
but I've never seen people act the way they were acting.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just really like, it was like the mixture of like when these guys were on heroin and stuff.
Right.
It was like well, not heroin, like something like a crystal meth.
Mm-hmm.
And like
tweaking,
like acid,
right?
And they were just like all over the place.
Yeah.
And it was just like all of a sudden out of the blue, they're yelling, like that lady was screaming and hollering, and you thought like she was bleeding, leg broken, the whole 9 yards.
Right. Yeah, like fresh
and there
car
was
accident.
nothing wrong
There's
with
nothing
her.
Visibly,
and she's just then about 10 minutes later, when she calmed down, it was like it didn't even happen. The other guy's like dancing. Then he stops, and then he kind of like walks away and goes and sits under a tree or something.
Jeez.
And it was like, and then the other guy was just so freaked out about the cops. That's what excited him was the cops.
Yeah.
And then he just fucking split. I don't know what that one there. I have no clue what the hell happened to him, because it was like he just evaporated.
What happened was his logical side of his brain had to catch up with the one standing there on the street corner, and then when it finally did, he was like, "Oh, I better get out of here."
that fucker is probably still running.
Yeah.
He's like,
"Yeah, oh shit,
the cops are coming! The cops are coming!"
Right.
Oh, but yeah, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, really bizarre.
Yeah, to me, it just seemed a little odd.
If anybody's using illegal drugs, you probably want to steer clear of anything with fentanyl and xylazine, because that.
How about this? How about we just tell everybody, just don't do illegal drugs?
I mean,
that's
ideally,
simple.
yeah.
It's like some
that would be awesome.
Some of that stuff is nuts. I mean.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, all it's going to take is one time. I don't know how people...
No, and that's the thing. That's what worries me the most, is like if you're going to try something, what's the age you're going to try it?
When you're younger.
Right. 15, 16, 17, 18, like that age for me in my mind. That's the age bracket. So these kids that are in school now, that are curious, hey, what's cocaine do or whatever,
Right.
could potentially get one hit of this and it could kill them, or cause some flesh eating
Right.
where they have to like amputate your fucking arm or your leg or whatever, your foot, wherever you decided to inject the shit. I mean, that.
And that was the other thing.
Come
is
on,
these
don't
people,
experiment.
These
Like that's
people
really
were like,
shitty.
They couldn't have been over 25, all of them.
That's what my point.
But the lady, the girl, she was, you could tell she was like 25, but she was aged like she was 40 something. Like she aged like 15, 20 years more.
That's bad.
Between the sunken eyes and everything else, she looked like a mom that had like 6 kids at home that hasn't slept in a week.
Shit.
Yeah, and she was just way the fuck off.
That's terrible.
I mean, even the young guy, the basketball-looking player, dude, he was like 6'5", 6'7".
Yeah.
And he's wearing basketball. Obviously, he's an athletic player,
right?
Or he wouldn't be wearing the shit he was wearing,
right?
And he was just like all over the place.
Wow.
Yeah, but you could tell that, like
something.
Yeah,
fresh out there.
Yeah, something was fresh on that one.
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous. And
it's just really sad.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's so ridiculous.
And it's like alarming that as much of the drugs are killing people. That's what is really.
What I don't understand about it is the fact that they have this. That how can people even do illegal drugs anymore? Between the fentanyl, instant kill, and everything else.
Right.
You got drug dealers don't care if they're they're
they don't
their
care
own.
If they kill their customers.
Yeah, so it's like this really, really super crazy.
Yeah, it's not the drug dealers of the 70s, right?
Drug dealers of the 70s, like here, you better.
Hey,
I'm only going to sell you.
You're going to come back for more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, these are like, they don't really care.
But you also have to think about this. Weed and like another piece of it, like weed, for instance.
Right.
When we were growing up, you would have had to smoke a lot of weed to really get super high.
Right.
This day and age, they can do a bowl out of some of this high grade shit that's coming out of places.
Yeah.
The THC level is so freaking high.
Yeah, it's like engineered weed, basically.
Yeah, I mean, that would send them to the freaking moon.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
like I said, I don't know, but that's the only thing I keep saying about it.
I just worry for our youth. I just,
I'll worry for the youngins.
And I'm an experimenter. Like I get it, like I like to dabble into different, not drugs, but
I like them.
Do you want to try a chocolate covered cricket? Fuck yeah, I'll try it once. I don't care, So that's what I'm talking about. And then you got people that are just like, oh, let's try cocaine. No, let's not.
Let's try not to.
Yeah, I mean, it might have fentanyl in it and it might kill you.
Exactly.
Let's not do that.
Let's stay away from that part.
Yeah,
So, I got, not to get off track.
No, probably better.
Probably better to change the subject anyway. So, I found this other thing that's kind of cool. And we got something that's coming out soon to a rich person nearby and near you. They have, you've seen that they have the big Rolls Royce, SUVs, right?
Yeah, I saw one.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I've seen it on TV or YouTube or whatever.
Seen it at the auto show and shit like that.
Yep.
Well, what's really crazy about it is they're now getting into the full-size truck market. And now they have a full-size truck SUV kind of based off of that elongated version of the SUV part. They're going to make it into a pickup truck where it has a full-size 8-foot bed, 4x4, and it's supposed to be
only
high,
rich
like
wannabe
1,000
rednecks
horsepower.
will be able to afford it.
Oh yeah. It's for the rich bastard that.
How about when we went for the drive and the electric vehicle was broke down in the right lane of I-75?
Yeah.
I mean, like we missed it.
We
drove by before we realized what had happened.
Truck, but this is like supposed to compete
that's
with
pretty
the
shitty.
TRX and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, the electric cars. There's two things that are going to go on. Okay, with electric vehicles, you have the breakdown like you seen.
Right.
Guy just ran out of juice.
And he
That was
couldn't
it.
even get off the road.
He was his thing obviously told him wrong about how much like juice he had left, because
Something.
you could see where he was trying to get off onto the exit so he could get charged up, but he just didn't make it to the exit.
Stop. Yeah.
But he just didn't make it to the exit.
Right.
And then that was one piece of it. But the other piece is that, people are like, oh, well, the electricity and all that. But what's the crazy part is it's just going to get, when it's all said and done, there's not going to be anything really cheaper.
No, of course not.
Like this guy.
You're just mining for something else.
Exactly.
Is all it is.
I've watched 3 or 4 different YouTubers now that were doing like a cross-country thing in an electric car. Mm-hmm. Every one of them complained about the same thing, that the range. The range was okay. Mm-hmm. It was when they went to go charge up.
Right.
The charging, like this guy got, what was it? He did charging for like 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. Okay, got him like 75 miles because he only sat there for 15 minutes. Mm. There's a certain level you have to get to before it really stacks up.
Right.
On a battery.
Right.
And so and he only did it for 15 minutes, and it was $20.
That's ridiculous.
So you got 100 miles for $20.
Wouldn't it make sense to put these electric car charging stations at like hotels? And that way you can stay the night, you plug your car in, the next day you get in, you're fully charged. The cost of the room is part of the chart. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's why Wawa and these new 7-Elevens and stuff, and the Buc-ee's and all those are kind of converting themselves into these having electric stations, because you have a big ass store sitting there.
Right.
Now you're plugging in. You're going to be bored. You're not going to want to sit in your car the whole time.
No, right.
You could go charge up, and while you're charging up for a couple hours,
shop,
eat meals, shop, and buy shit from buy shit from the store.
Yeah, right.
So that's the way I look at it, anyway.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, so it's just.
I mean, here's the thing. The distance I drive. It's not that far. So if an electrical vehicle. Yeah. If an electric vehicle became available, I have a favorite. If something like that became available and it was cost effective, I would definitely consider it.
Right.
Because for the distance I drive, I could make it to work. If I needed to stop by a store, whatever, it's pretty much on the way home. It would be ideal for me in my, particular situation. However, someone like yourself, not feasible at all.
Well, and there's something that's kind of funny about that whole situation. Okay, 90% of all the cars made this day, this era, are SUVs and trucks.
Right.
A lot of Ford doesn't even have a car other than the Mustang.
Right.
And now they're making an electric Mustang. And Chevy is getting eliminated in a lot of theirs.
My dinner has carved you up.
Yes, it has carved me up. So long and short is that basically a lot, and like Chevy isn't even going to eliminate their truck line. They're going to have gas trucks all the way through.
Good.
Toyota's already saying that they're not getting rid of their electric line. They'll have hybrids and stuff and electric, but they're still going to make their gas trucks.
Good.
And cars.
Yeah.
And I mean, the only ones that are really going full bore is like Hyundai and Kia, which is the same company in Genesis.
Right.
Yeah. And so with that being said, they, I mean, when a company puts almost $1 billion, $100 million shy of $1 billion to build the next engine for their pickup trucks, they obviously aren't getting rid of them anytime soon.
No, exactly.
And so
you don't make that investment to get rid of it.
So yeah, it's like, I think that what our government's promising is kind of a false promise.
Right.
In one way, because of the fact that they're saying, oh, by 2025, everybody has to have, that there's not going to be any more electric, any more
gas-powered vehicles.
Gas-powered cars.
Yeah.
But they didn't say anything about trucks. And it's already proven with the Lightning and all these other ones.
Right.
That a electric truck is great for short distance, but nothing other than that.
And people driving trucks for the most part
are going to be running other
they're
things.
Contractors,
Yep.
they're working folks. They need that
They're
truck.
going to have that thing loaded down.
Right.
And
which is going to
pulling
eliminate
a trailer.
your fuel efficiency with your
Yep.
electric if it's loaded down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it pulls it with no problem, but the life is not there.
Right.
You know, it's like they were showing it
Yeah.
in some of
that's science, you know.
Exactly.
More shit you put in it,
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you want an electric car because you want to,
yeah,
you don't want to deal with gas and the other stuff,
right.
That's your prerogative. But
right.
90% of the people, I guarantee you, aren't going to be going that route anytime soon.
Nope. And that's the thing is, remember that one we were looking at way back long time ago? I mean, even that, you were looking at, oh, well, if the batteries went bad and we had to replace them, it would cost this and we'd have to do that.
Oh, yeah.
And all of that is my point, is the maintenance cost far exceed.
Yeah, I mean, people are like, oh, you don't have to have the oil change, all this. But you still, but sooner or later, it's like the sooner or later you got to pay the piper.
Yep.
Whether it's by changing the oil or changing out or doing nothing for a long period of time, and just having that big nut to change out the batteries.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know for a fact that people are not going to change. They're not going to change out batteries. They're going to go and they're going to trade it in after 3 years.
Right.
And everybody's going to be on that upside down spiral.
Right. And what I'm saying is factual, because there's a company in California in the 70s called Duffy Electric Boats.
Okay.
And these boats are still very prevalent, mostly in California because that's where they were made.
Right.
But people use them to tool around the little canals and shit that they have over there. I mean, I don't know California, but whatever. And it's a really neat little boat. I mean, like, I'm sure in the 70s it was great. You know, you and the 4 kids and, mom and dad could all jump in the fucking boat and wherever.
Off you go.
Right. Problem is, batteries in the 70s aren't what they are today. So all these boats are still out there, and hey, they may fire up, and hey, that's what gets it sold. But then you get that guy who doesn't know a flipping thing, and he goes, puts it in the water, gets it out into the middle of the bay, and goes, "Oh shit, I can't get back. No more juice."
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So
I mean, a lot of them are going to have the batteries are going to be the biggest issue.
Right
now, Elon's got some kind of new technology that he's been talking about that says that the battery's going to last a whole lot of ton of years.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's just like the light bulb. Okay, they figured out how to make a light bulb that didn't burn out.
Right.
When they invented the light bulb.
Right.
Okay, there's a light bulb in Pennsylvania that hasn't turned off since they turned it on hundreds of years ago.
Right.
In a freaking firehouse.
Right.
That has a battery backup on it.
Right.
That's how important it is.
Right.
To them. And if they but after a while, people are going to go, well, if everybody's got light bulbs that don't burn out, then they're never going to need a new light bulb.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it's just like out of the 70s, GM used to have like the Firebirds and the Camaros.
Yeah.
And they would do they'd do rot tests on them by making sure that they made the metal and everything thick enough that it lasted for 7 to 10 years.
Right.
But after that, that's why
then maybe you get some faltering.
Yeah.
Right.
Because like if you notice, almost every one of the 70s versions of a Camaro or a Firebird turns into a full rust bucket if it hasn't been completely perfectly cared for.
Yeah.
And that's why.
Yeah.
They do just enough to make sure that it doesn't.
Well, and it's all cost effectiveness too, because that higher grade of metal is going to cost you more to refine and shape and mold and whatever.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I mean, yeah. Anything out there today is going to be the same thing. It doesn't
That's
matter what it is.
Out.
Your vinyl seat covers on up to your big expensive boats. I'm sure that there's cost effectiveness measures put into all of it.
Oh yeah, definitely. So that's but it's all relevant. But we, we don't want to bore people with our car stuff.
Well,
we get started, we won't stop talking about
I like
it.
car stuff.
Yeah, maybe we should just have like a car.
You have people
Carcass.
that want
I
you
know.
to do car stuff.
I gotta find Sam and all the other guys that want to
Yeah.
do something. So we'll just have to have a car show,
Yeah, figure out what cars he has that he wants to talk about,
and then we go
and
from there.
then build it
Yeah.
from there.
Exactly.
Then you can advertise that, hey, we're going to talk about blah blah blah,
Blah blah blah.
whatever blah 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 is. Yeah,
All right.
that's
Well,
Kimmy speak for I'm tired and the fried rice is kicking in, or fried lice.
her fried lice and her beer is kicked in.
Right.
So with that answer, please like and subscribe.
Thanks for
Ring the
tuning
bell.
in.
So thanks
Yeah.
for tuning in. If you've lasted this long,
You're
not
a legend.
only are you a legend, but you're a double legend tonight, because if you
If
if
you
you're
made
able
it through
to
all that bullshit,
all through our bullshit, I'm proud of you. Because there is not a ADD person that could have kept up with that if they wanted to.
you know.
We're just all
That's what
over
that
the
little
place.
fast forward button's for.
Yeah.
You just do a little blip for 10 seconds and get to the part you want.
Here,
Yeah.
what is that?
He'll
Pretend
act it out for you,
Yeah, there you go. And go to slow mo.
right? Jackass. Hey, you didn't talk about shit tonight.
You just did. You
No
broke,
shit stories.
You broke the shit.
No shit stories.
No poop. That's what's wrong with tonight. We didn't have a poop
No
story.
shit stories.
No, I did. I talked about farting 2 minutes in.
That's not really the same.
It's vapor shit. Liquid shit? No, no liquid shit. Vapor shit. Anyway, so thank you guys for watching. BuzzTheOLife.com. Go out Sammitized and get 10% off plus your free shipping.
Yes.
And then you've got Ambrose Home Services. Look them up on Facebook. That's Ambrose Home Services.
On Facebook.
Go give a shout out to Brian. Tell him
will
that you've
give you a
seen it from
discount.
us.
Yes.
Until next time.
Thanks
we'll
for
see
watching.
You, but we gotta fucking go.
Gotta fucking go.
So we gotta get the fuck out of here.
Good night, y'all.
Out of here.